As the world continues to spiral downwards in the global economic collapse, we need to attain information which is timely and accurate. Having good sources of information is integral to our success and security. You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. Today I'm going to show you the sources that I look at every single day to get the information that I bring to you. So let's get into this very quickly. Number one, Zero Hedge. Zero Hedge tends to be the best source of information. I think it is generally one which is lacking of a bias and simply showing us the truth. Now, it's one that would be more towards a libertarian perspective on the economy. So I think that is a good thing to have that. You don't necessarily have right wing or left wing. You tend to see a lot of the information that we need to see and not a lot of the censorship. So I do believe that Zero Hedge is excellent for that. A lot of the charts that I show you are from Zero Hedge. Then Zero Hedge basically brings you from there into other websites. If you don't know about Zero Hedge, you definitely need to check them out. Very important. They're an aggregator of information, but more importantly, they really get into showing you a lot of the detail of certain aspects. And I think perhaps for most people, they get into a little bit too much of the technical analysis, but it doesn't matter. You don't have to look at all of that. So Zero Hedge definitely being one of my favorite sources. Now, Drudge Report is obviously one of the biggest sites in the world. They are a very important site to check out. They are, however, definitely right-wing. I would say that, at least in my opinion, the way I see it. There's an obvious Trump bias that they have, pro-Trump definitely. You can see that going on, but there's no doubt that they bring together an amazing set of information every single day. The site is updated so regularly, and I do believe that it is important to check out every single day. You can see if you go on in the morning and then you go on in the evening, it's almost a totally different set of information. So it's something that's constantly being updated, and it's a very important site. There's no doubt about it. Then I look at CNS News. CNS News, although I don't necessarily read everything from here, they get into a lot of the information that the government doesn't like to talk about, that's for sure. So we see the different numbers, whether it's the food stamp numbers or anything else, they'll get into that. So it's a lot of the reports brought out by the government, they'll bring it here, and they will tend to get into things that you won't get in the mainstream media. So definitely one of the sites that I like to check out. One of them I didn't pull up here, but I want to mention right now before I forget, Judicial Watch. This is an extremely important website, and for those who aren't aware, a lot of times Judicial Watch will cover some of the most important information out there. They get documents, they basically do the Freedom of Information Act request, and I think that they're so crucial to our liberty because they really keep the government in check, and when they're not in check, they will expose that information. So Judicial Watch is another one that I believe is integral. Shadow Stats. I think everybody knows about shadow stats by now, but if you don't, essentially they recalculate, John Williams recalculates the statistics brought out by the government using the old methods. So the 1980 and 1980 and 90, depending on the statistic, they show a much more accurate results for inflation, for unemployment, for everything else. You can see a lot of the information free at their website, Shadow Stats, but then you can also sign up for the subscription that he has. I did sign up previously. It is very detailed. So if you want to know about the ins and outs, you can get on that. But if you just want to look at the basics, you can see that for free at shadowstats.com. I also look at Bloomberg, and I don't look at Bloomberg necessarily for their opinion on everything, but when I want to see what's happening with the markets, I generally go to Bloomberg.com. That's usually where I have a good idea of what's happening in the market. I don't necessarily go to Reuters or anywhere else, although I may be brought there by other websites. I tend to look at Bloomberg for the pure financial advice. Obviously, there's no doubt I go to YouTube as well, see a lot of information on there. And looking at this, when I look at health information, one of the best websites in the world is the National Institutes of Health. And if you go to NIH, you'll be looking at one of the biggest resources that they have in the world. It's technical, there's no doubt about that, but when you go to the website, you can go to the search at the top, and you could see, you can search something like SV40, for example. You can search whatever you want up there, and they will bring up all of the studies that have been done on that particular subject. So whatever you're interested in, type it in the search bar, and you will definitely find some good information. And looking at Bitcoin, because a lot of times for Bloomberg, for example, you don't get the detail of cryptocurrencies. You're not going to have people who understand cryptocurrencies, so it's not really a good resource other than to track the price, and maybe you hear about what's happening out there in a general sense. But you need to check out two websites that I think are important, and there's many more. But if you want to follow the pricing, you should check out CoinMarketCap. That's important for just to track the accurate pricing, to see what the market cap's at, just to get a general overview of what's happening with the cryptocurrencies. And then you can look at CoinDesk. And there are so many websites out there that really get into the cryptocurrencies. Zero Hedge covers it as well. But to have sort of I like to think of it as the Bloomberg.com for cryptos, and so CoinDesk is essentially a good place to start if you're not already looking into this as a whole. Definitely check out CoinDesk, because these are some of the sources that I look at, particularly Zero Hedge, Judge, Bloomberg, actually all of them, in fact, that I go to regularly. Those are some of the places. I also have personal sources that I have, which I've spoken to over the years, whether it's in the financial industry. I have a high-level source in the shipping industry that I discuss with, and just basically people that you know over the years. And those are some other things. That's all for this video. Many people have asked me, what my sources are. I wanted to bring a video out just to talk to you about that. I think that anybody can really get enough information from what's available out there to, go off on your own and have enough knowledge to prosper, to be secure. You don't need any special sources out there. Don't listen to the so-called gurus and experts. Everybody's a financial expert now, and everybody, even though they're against the bankers and they're against the financial establishment, they're telling you which stocks to buy and everything else. So, don't trust anybody, I assure you. You just go out there and get your own information. And then, last but not least, if you found the video informative, please give me a thumbs up. Finally, the t-shirt is ready, the very first one. I'm going to release many more, but if you're interested in getting the Money GPS t-shirts, go over to themoneygps.com, click on the store link at the bottom, and then you're brought with this. The first thing is the audiobooks. The next thing with the t-shirt logo, click on that. You're going to be brought over to Amazon, and then you can get into the different t-shirts. Right now there's only this one, and you can choose men or youth or women, and then you will see the different color options that are available. And if you like this, of course, you can purchase it, support me as an author, but also make a statement out there. So you'll see this here, if I could zoom in, what it looks like. This is essentially say no to GMO. You can see that design. I think it's really awesome. The only thing about this is that it's only available to people in the US. I can't even order my own shirt. So that's an Amazon thing. I don't know. I hope that this will change very soon. There's nothing I can do about it. I can't expand it beyond the US for now. If there's a way, I'm going to figure it out. So hang in there. If you're like me, you're from Canada or perhaps from another place. But if you're from the States, then please, by all means, check this out. Say no to GMO is just one of many I'm going to do, and the Fed, I'm going to do so many. So stay tuned for that. Once again, go to themoneygps.com. You click on the store link, and you will get over to this right here. Take care.